Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. We're here in Orlando, having set up everything for the most part. Camera seems a little off, but let's see. Maybe I'll move to the right. That'll make it easier. What happened to the music? I guess everything is extremely short, but let's test and see if the music is too loud. So, for the most part, in our community teams, Master Chess Dojo, Rapid, and Classical, we have set up a day 3 community arena. That is good. The in-class events, one can always note, set up for 11 hours. Oh my God, I may have to log in as LHOC team and amend that. Really only needs to be until 4:30 this afternoon, New York time, to be honest. Make sure that it doesn't accidentally pop up on my screen. Oops, not that one. We are testing. We'll see if we get a game, if anyone is still here. I don't think so, since this event was created. We'll leave it up for just a moment. Could also do some study, or we could also do, thanks to MD Night Zero, we will probably attempt to do a Nail It Like Nepo stream, as he sent this to the dojo library, and there are 30 of his best wins in an amazing format published by Elk and Rudy, who do amazing work. These guys are pretty incredible. The quality is good. If anything, I think that they're a little tight on space, as the chapters sort of go into one another without any sort of actual formal header. So, for example, when you switch from the introduction to the games, there's a simple 30 best games at the top on average. Aram, good morning. MD Night Zero, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just give him a quick shout out and see if it came up. No, our chat box is not working, I noticed. Let's play the French in honor of the memory of our trip to Paris. Right now we are in the Dojo Rapid and Classical. Oh, there it is. All right, so some things don't get set up. Let's just keep attacking the center as best we can. Do we want to go into the Classical with knight on b to d2 and no bishop g5? Seems pretty reasonable. Let's see what our opponent has in mind on this. We will break down the center later as needed. Now, we do have a lot of pressure on the e5 pawn, so therefore we could recapture with both the queen or the knight. We're going to recapture with the knight just to try to get all of our pieces into the mix appropriately. And just now, we need to get our king out of the center. And I do have a little bit of trouble trying to defend this issue here. Now, we are slightly worse in this position. There is no doubt about it. We don't want to give up the bishop pair. Hopefully the music is not too loud. So we are going to, unfortunately, defend our pawn in a very awkward manner. We have to defend our pawn further in a very awkward manner. Looks like we're getting rid of our bad bishop. And we are going to get castled. So far, everything is held together by a thread. An absolute thread, to say the least. We need to get our rook on a8 into the game. And then, and only then, will we be able to continue. Well, it's interesting. Our opponent has created a little bit of a weakness, testing everything. Microphone, testing headphones, earbuds, I should say. Now, interestingly enough, I am interested in the f4 square, so e4 is possible. G6 is possible. Queen to f7, knight g5, queen h5 is also possible.
Said. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Richie. How are you?
Said.
Just doing a brief stream.
Be muted.
No, I do not appear to be muted. Please tell me this isn't so. I'm seeing a reaction on the let's use that one, maybe. Let's see if that does it. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. No, I can't seem to do anything with this. Testing, testing, testing. How about now?
Richard Smith.
Said. On YouTube anyways.
Oh no. Well, that's not good. Refresh. It's registering. Testing, testing, testing. This is a very good moment to be testing everything, obviously. I do have only 2 minutes, so I have to make a decision. Chess is all about making decisions. Whether or not I wish to play it this way, he could have played there. I would like to get a rook. He has knight g5, then knight e6, then knight c7, possibly. Let's just overprotect e5 and we will work from there. And now, do we attempt to threaten and threaten? He has f4 at the end. We'll give him a little bit of a nudge. We're going to play this like we can. Can you test YouTube? I mean, can you test Twitch?
Richard Smith.
Said. It's the YouTube output that's muted. It seems it's working fine on Twitch.
Interesting. Well, that's good. I can delete the YouTube volume. Fair enough. Let's see about my settings. I may restart the stream immediately after this game and see if that solves the problem. All right, So what do we wish to do with our opponent? Now that we're out of the works, we don't want to get skewered. That's a bummer. Let's just try to escape the general area of what is being attacked. D5 is a sensitive spot. If queen to b3, then we will have to decide what's going on then. We do have possibilities of playing bishop takes h5. He has this as well. Let's not let that happen. Where could he be going? We'll know in a moment.
Said, did you hear about the 2 tins of baked beans that fell in Love Master Chess Dojo? The police just stared at them. They muttered to each other what a lovely pair of cans they were.
What a lovely pair of cans. Eliza Taylor, good morning. I love this comedy career, sir. I love it, love it, love it. I also love that you're working on it. Now it appears like we could be giving him a little bit more of a checkup, but let's just give him another opportunity to lose a rook if he wants to take it. He took it. Can we give him another shot at losing material? We can. We can. We're protecting this. We're protecting that.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
All right. That was a nice, successful...
Jay-Z auctioned off his name for a charity for illiterate children. He is now called Jay if he has 23 letters, but AZ ain't one.
He now has 23 letters. I feel that one needs a little bit of refining. I feel like that one has a little bit of refining. Welcome and thank you for the follow, Eliza.
Fan Ricky.
Said,
you may join the daily dojo
weird.
here. That one does need a little bit of refining. It's really got something though.
Said, perhaps the reference is too obscure too.
Now Jay-Z is pretty well known. I do need to log in as LHOC and curb this back from 10 hours / 11 hours. I know we fumbled the ball earlier this morning on
Said, New York.
New York. Orlando, sir. I get to live a little bit of a normal life as a chess coach at an event for a few days. It is good to be here. I have been exhausted and I have aborted for the time being the morning Monday through Friday streams in honor of sleep.
Said, yeah, but it was supposed to be a play on words for the song I Got 99 Problems. Maybe it'd be funny if I went with that instead. Sup Rogan.
Interesting. Is the music too loud?
Said, John breathing the free American air for once.
There's nothing free here, sir. There are tariffs everywhere. If he can tariff the air, he will. He's getting richer by the day off of the position that he holds. as much as I love you guys, I need to fix the sound on YouTube, apparently.
Said. Sup Mr. Smith.
I really do want to give,
Richard Smith.
Said. Music balance is good, it's definitely present but not
oh,
overpowering.
awesome. Awesome, that's what I need to hear. It feels a little bit louder to me because I'm getting it firsthand, obviously, in my earbuds. So I can't quite tell versus my voice. Plus, I don't necessarily know how this particular mic is working since I'm using my webcam mic with my really terrible voice. But on the whole, I do need, or are we in the study, in the streak on this particular computer? Oh, we're at 46. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. It looks as though we have a simple capture, as we're somewhat forced, right, to capture. And then we get to recapture. But I am worried about this. But of course, I'm going to get it right back.
Said. John, if I had to ave up for an event to see you, what should it be?
Ella Harper, 99, how are you? For an event to see me, well, it would definitely be the World Chess Championship. I will definitely make every effort to go to the World Chess Championship.
I tried pitching sketches, but they don't listen to people without a portfolio, so sadly I need to try and do some stand-up to build a repertoire of work. I feel writing stand-up is way harder.
Absolutely.
Ella Harper.
Thanks for following.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ella Harper. Great to see you, Ella. I'm assuming that it's Ella.
Said.
We have...
I use the next one, John.
The YouTube having some issues, if anyone wants to continue to check on that. Also, the YouTube volume sometimes mutes itself when you're watching a video, so I often have to unmute videos when I go into them, especially shorts. So checking the volume on the YouTube possibly might be the shot. But already, I used to stream absolutely daily, Ella, but I am trying to release something on YouTube daily. I did pretty well for 4 or 5 days in a row. I think today or yesterday may have been the day that I did not release something of a short or a tournament tour or something like that. I don't do anything fancy with my YouTube videos. I merely post videos for the sake of sharing the chess world and the community. And I will be doing the same today. I realized I haven't shaved, but it's not so bad since I shaved late yesterday. Hoping that I wouldn't have to shave today, but it's time. So we're at 47. Where do I want to be? So is Black going to be able to... Looks like it could be Zugzwang here. After pawn takes, White cannot recapture. We are on the black side, as the indicator mentions. We could capture, they cannot capture back. They're going to have to play king to c6.
Said. What did you shave?
What did I shave? I also have the option of playing b5, b6, and the pawn will get to f6. That's pretty tight. b5, f5, I'm sorry, g4. Blah, blah, blah. I am reversing the board on myself. We have g4, f5. And then queen, bay queen. So let's do this, let's run through this one more time. G4, F5, G3, F6, G takes F2, F7, H1 equals queen. Should be good. Because if I take...
Pegasus sway.
They will be able to reach this square, so this is the only move.
Nice.
Well, that was very easy. do want to check this one just because.
Richard Smith
said, "It's strange that there is such emphasis on female follicular annihilation. Strange we don't get to see more Viking-style beards down there nowadays. It's all the rage for nether regions to look."
Richard Smith
said, "Like two clumps of beige Play-Doh hastily clumped together."
That one is a really educated joke. That's a lot to take in. I believe there's definitely an audience for it either way. Definitely an audience for it. So where are we? We are white. And it looks as though, should we check?
Richard Smith
said, "Thanks."
And then take advantage of the pin. That's exactly what it looks like we have to do. To reach 50. All right, it is great to have you, Richie. Absolutely great to have you on this relatively harmless but somewhat important test stream for Orlando, since I do hope to stream tomorrow morning. I don't necessarily know how much I can stream tomorrow morning, but we will find out. Now, is there any danger to being able to get up to that square? We have to play bishop to b8. Is that the hitch? And then we have to cross and cover, as I often call it. Crossing and covering is a Coast Guard swim technique, which is possibly a real swimming term. Crossing and covering. Does everybody, can everybody picture the reasoning behind a cross and cover? When you're jumping into a lake where there may be underground trees or branches, especially a nice long branch, and if you are jumping into a lake, you need to cross your legs so that the family jewels do not get annihilated. To say the least. They do have bishop to e5 check. f4 bishop to b8, queen to c6 check. No? Yes, maybe so. Endgame is still a little tedious, but obviously winning. Totally winning. The computer doesn't see this as an issue. All right, so for the moment of truth, we have a weakness, ladies and gentlemen. We have a weakness.
That is true. I hear that falling into lakes with your family jewels can give you water infections.
Let's remove the defender of the rook on c3.
Kingslayer Sloan
Pick up the material.
Said, "John, is your team winning in the girls' chess?"
We did win the girls' nationals with our team, consisting of Amazing Star. I think she finished second in the Chess Kid Speed Chess Challenge. She lost on an amazing fluke, which was in a YouTube short or a reel by chess.com. Megan Parak was leading our team here as well, I believe. She should be here. But we have two international masters, Tani, who is pretty well known and famous. I cannot pronounce his name so quickly and easily, so I'm going to have to practice that one. It looks as though we should have a skewer at the end of all of this.
Richard Smith
said, "Amazing, well done."
And we won the New York State Championship, and now we're here with a massively strong team in order to hopefully do it again. Oops, we're hoping to do it again. So it looks as though we should be able to win more material.
Said, Is Megan Paragua related to Mark Paragua? He is a trainer as well, right?
Yeah, we know each
Kingslayer
other. In
Sloan.
fact, I thought it was his
Said.
daughter, but it is
FM
his
Donovan.
niece. It is actually his niece. So this endgame should be winning.
Richard Smith.
Said. RA7 RD8 NC6.
Yep. But now this, as John Oliver would say, probably one of the best imports. I have to turn the temperature up. I turned it down a little too low on the air conditioning this morning. I turned it off last night. I couldn't go to sleep. The room was freezing. They did do a great job
Pegasus Sway.
on this room.
Said.
Ah, yes.
ND6.
How silly of me. I believe that knight takes b5 is only drawing, but I'm going to go
Kingslayer
back
Sloan.
to check that.
Said. How do I know the name Richard Smith?
Richard Smith was pretty famous in his day, and he's hoping to make the name famous
Kingslayer
again.
Sloan.
Said. Sorry, I suck with names.
So we have a very serious problem on our hands if we look at our opponent's intention. We can't just move here. However, it looks as though we will be able to check and double check with mate. That looks like it should do it. When I was younger, I used to miss this particular style of queen mate with the queen covering in this direction and the knight covering in that direction, the two available escape squares. I used to miss that mate all the time when I was coming up. So now we're white.
Richard Smith.
Said. It's me, Rogan Richard Smith, son of Richard Smith and most reputable in a long line of dicks.
Pegasus Sway.
Said. Mr. Smith in Matrix.
I think the music just got a little louder. I believe that the deeply chill aspect of this stream. So should we just capture and capture? We have an outside pass pawn, and then we get to capture. And we should be winning this with an outside pass pawn, right? Because this pawn is following this outside pass pawn, with pawns on both sides of the board, the bishop will still experience some difficulty controlling both sides.
Richard Smith.
Said. Music is fine.
All right. I'm wondering if I can turn down my headset volume. Or maybe I need to turn up the music for you guys so that I can turn down the music for myself. That may be the case. So if we play for this check, the king cannot move to h1.
Pegasus Sway.
The knight cannot take because a queen takes and then knight smothered mate.
Kingslayer Sloan.
Said. I got a selfie stick, I can react the power switch without moving.
Oh, nice.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Said. Sorry Rogan, it was me.
All right, and we're on our way to 60. I feel like we could reach our high score.
Right, I keep forgetting.
First inclination is knight takes g6. Queen takes g6, rook to g3. That's the first inclination. I'm looking for anything else. Now, ironically, my mind automatically does the entire candidate move process that I recommend students do very quickly. So I don't even realize that I'm doing it because I look at moves such as
ADHD Dick, his homies call him.
Knight to d4 and pawn to g4 and other things, trying to undermine the center.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Said. Haha.
But because I'm doing the candidate move process so fast, it is a little bit misleading. So rook takes, knight takes c2. What could be the problem here? Rook take, queen takes. That is a problem. So we have knight takes d5. It looks as though we step off the block, automatically analyze. Now, I have no coffee. This means the end of the stream is really nigh, to say the least. It does mean that the end of stream is really, really, really nigh. Please check out the YouTube. Please check out the Chess Informant website. Chahovsky.com for some amazing deals and product specials. Downloads. But it does look like we are going to start off with a fork. And how do I recapture? If we fork and he plays knight takes f3, we just take back. Or do we take the queen and then we just take back? So now we come to the next hurdle. Knight takes,
said.
Or
Just
rook
top on
takes.
e7 with check.
Yeah, exactly. Just top on e7 with check, indeed. So rook takes is a great in-between move because we get things off the screen. I believe that this rook takes is forced, and we've gotten a pair of rooks off the board.
Arsenal fan Ricky
said.
So we have a choice between knight.
To win rook on e8.
So I'm like trying to decide if there is an in-between move here that is unworthy. Otherwise, it's knight takes. Knight takes f7. Rook takes. I think this has to be the reason why we're doing this exercise. Queen takes d5, rook takes e8. But what was actually wrong with knight takes e3? Then knight takes e2. Oh, silly, I did not even look at the opponent's threat. That is craziness. So here, are we getting a really good discovery on this king? He has so many possible checks. And my pawn is pinned, so it looks like it's a discovery. We found the weakness, ladies and gentlemen. How weak was I to play that particular line? Now, of course, we also had queen to c3 checkmate or queen to a3 checkmate. But this particular discovery highlights white's major problem. So we have this check, queen check. And then knight takes e5, working these two, which cannot protect each other. Is that true? It looks very, very true. So we still have the queen check. We have to check everything along the way to make sure that we are okay with this. Now we also have this particular check, which simplifies, forces trades. And now when we fork, it's even more devastating for our opponent. We've made it to 60. That was good. That was excellent.
Arsenal fan Ricky
said. Was QXE5 the only good move then?
I believe it was, but I'm going to go back for just a moment. I was just checking to see where we can possibly exit stage left if needed.
Arsenal fan Ricky
said. Oh, maybe there was f6.
Yeah, f6 is actually what I was hallucinating previously. Like I said, I'm doing the candidate move process so fast that I don't actually recognize the in-between moves to get to that stage, but I did recognize F6 as a real threat, which was unfortunate, sad, and unfortunately a serious one. So, needless to say, in order to get from here to there, this particular stream, I am very thankful that everyone has been here. I'm just going to see if anyone new has joined. This time has to be amended. I'm going to amend this shortly on this. Please become a member of the dojo if you are not already. Follow on all of the socials. TikTok by the same name. I don't think it's listed, but honestly, I've been trying to post a little bit every day. I may do so now. Try to catch up. Try to set a publication time for some things.
Said, sorry for derailing your stream. Have a great evening.
Oh, please. Do you really think that you're derailing my stream? I think not. I think not. I'm just looking for my attempted chat window where I can write real commands. And this way I can try to find someone I know personally.
Said, we have had Quadraspaski.
We've had Quadraspaski indeed.
Said,
ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for the positivity as always.
Holy crap. My Streamlabs is not logged in. Aha!
Said,
I found the culprit.
Stay safe, take care, John.
No, we're not going anywhere.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Wait,
Said,
join Twitch today.
have a good one, Rogan.
I realize why we could not be heard on YouTube. I'm happy it was working nonetheless, despite the fact, but I do realize why we can't be heard on YouTube. It appears that my Streamlabs is not logged in. My Streamlabs is not logged into YouTube or to Twitch. It's amazing that I'm even working on it's amazing that I'm even working at all. So thanks everyone for being here. Let's roll the ending credits for those new follows. Namaste everybody.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Said, are you streaming with AV1BTW?
I am Audiovisual 1. I'm streaming with Streamlabs OBS. I'm going to give Kingslayer Sloan a quick shout out, and of course to our French Bishop Chesscast, which should be re-railed after this, if you've not already followed that. Eliza and Ella, thank you for the follow. Eliza Harper and Ella Taylor, namaste. All right. Yeah, and I use a dual streaming service, but I have not been on this laptop in a while, so therefore I understand completely why it is no longer working. So we're going to let it play out normally, however the raid works. And cheers and ciao, everyone. Because I don't seem to have the normal controls that I normally do.
What is this song?
This song is powered by Slipstream. Slipstream is the service that I'm using. Have a great day, Richie. Talk to you soon.